All right, guys, welcome back to 99 Tactical. Yet again, we are back out here on the range, and we are going to do another fun one for science, right? No, that's not right. We're just talking about 10 reasons, 10 reasons, maybe we'll throw in a bonus 11 that we can't count here. So 10 reasons why cars are like guns, and guns are like cars. I think you'll find this one interesting. Anybody who tries to do both at the same time ultimately knows how expensive this can get. So let's go with reason number.
Go.
So if you can count, you know that's reason number one. Reason number one, guns are money pits. Let's be real here. If you're a true gun enthusiast, collector, if you do it for a hobby, which we'll get into that in a little bit, guns are expensive. So are cars. As the economy goes on and forward in life, everything naturally inflates. Guns get more expensive as the years go on. Collector's items get more expensive as the years go on. Cars are no different. So reason number one, guns are money pits. Reason number for all y'all that can count, yeah, 3 y'all out there like I'm Southern. I'm not. Guns are hobbies. Cars are hobbies. It's a great thing to do in your free time. If you enjoy collecting guns, kind of a hobby. There's lots of aftermarket stuff for them, so you can make it into a hobby full-time, part-time. Really, you can get in it as much as you want. You want to dabble in it, or you want to go full-bore collector status. It's the same thing with cars. Cars, you can do small stuff to your car if you want to, or you can get really involved with it and build race cars and totally lose all your money in life. So, reason number two, guns are hobbies. Reason number three, you always lie to your significant other about how much they actually cost. Guys, if you got controlling girlfriends, be real with yourselves. You know you lie. Just saying, you usually lie about how much they cost, about how much the ammo costs, just like you would lie about your car hobbies, how much they cost. Just saying, be careful. Tread lightly, because sometimes you lie to your significant others about how much they actually cost. Reason number four, there are lots of underlying costs to being a firearm owner. First and foremost, obviously the firearm is expensive, but if you want to put an optic on your gun, it's going to cost you a decent chunk of change nowadays, usually for a quality optic. Cars are the same way. Kind of, you get a car, there's a lot of underlying costs, kind of maintenance things, if you will, services at 30,000, 50,000, 60,000 miles. If people choose to do those, underlying costs. Also, some things to think about with guns is stuff like storage. Some states require you to have storage properly for the firearm. Otherwise, you could be a felon overnight. And same thing with cars. Cars also have a ton of other underlying costs. Stuff you don't see coming, accidents, so on and so forth. So reason number four is guns and cars share a lot of underlying costs. Reason number five, they require professionals to service. And when I say that, I mean projects that require gunsmithing, usually some custom work, or if guys want to run like chassis systems sometimes for like long guns, race guns, stuff like that, you take them to a gunsmith to get them professionally done so they're set up to be as good as humanly possible. Same thing with cars. Cars can be so complicated nowadays, as that's what I do for a living. There are just some things you can't do without a scan tool. So some things you just can't do in your driveway anymore. You have to take it to a professional to get even stuff done as simple as maintenance nowadays. So number five, you have to take them to professionals to get them serviced. Reason number six, guns can literally pretty much be from a stock gun, like this Taurus G2C, cheapo $200 gun, to a race gun, or something more oriented like a open class gun, like this M&P that's kind of decked out with a slide rider, ported barrel, ported slide, magwell, trigger, all this stuff. So basically the point I'm trying to make is cars are similar to guns in the sense that you can take them from being a stock unit, something like as simple as a Mirage or a smart car, all the way up to a built race car, like a stock car, pro stock car, top fuel. They have infinite amount of moddability in that regard. So number six, guns are like cars for the simple fact they can go from stock all the way to race. Reason number Number 7, kind of piggyback off the last one. Guns are like cars in the sense that they have huge aftermarkets. You can pretty much modify just about anything on most modern vehicles nowadays. Guns are no different. There's a ginormous aftermarket for pretty much any part you can think of on a gun. I'll go back to this M&P again. This is pretty much case in point. This gun was a performance tunnel model from the factory. So think of that something as like, I don't know, simple as enough, a TRD model of a car, something like that. Where they take a base model car and they throw a couple extra goodies in there for you. So this would have been just a base M&P, but with a ported barrel, ported slide cut, you know, suppressor height sights. The frame already had a more aggressive pattern on it, and it had they claim it had a better trigger. It didn't really, but either way, you can have a huge aftermarket for this gun. Everybody's R&D parts for this, including the mag well, different optics you can slap on here, different sights. Pretty much anything you can think of on this gun or inside this gun can be changed, just because it's got a huge aftermarket. Cars are no different. Something that's very popular right now would be like a Mustang, Charger, Challenger, Camaro, American cars, stuff like that. They have humongous aftermarkets. Tons of companies invest a ton of R&D into getting the best product out there they can for those, so people buy them up, and there's a ton of modability you can do to pretty much anything. So reason number 7, guns are just like cars because they have a huge aftermarket. Reason number 8, guys, I'm gonna say licenses. Cars are very similar to guns in the fact that to take them to their fullest extent, you may at some point in your life have to get a license, i.e. a driver's license, if you want to drive a car on the road, right? So it's kind of a privilege, if you will, but carrying a firearm is a right, just so everybody remembers that. We got that out there. So a lot of states still, though, require you to get a license to conceal carry a firearm, or a CCW permit, if you will. There's also some drastic other measures that some states require. Licensing for ammunition purchases, all those FUDs, all that anti-2A crap, it all sucks. But even cars, when you get further along the line, like let's say you want to be a drag racer. I keep going back to this drag racing thing, but bear with me. Let's say you want to be a drag racer and you get an actual fast car. I'm talking like a single digit actual fast car. You have to get an NHRA license to pilot that car down the track. So kind of the further along you go with things, sometimes the more licenses you have to get in order to keep digging further into that hobby. So reason number 8, guns are just like cars because sometimes they require special licenses. Reason number 9, guys. Your build may be open to scrutiny. Now hear me out when I say this. Cars, guns, big aftermarkets, right? Hobbyists. When you put those things together, people are going to change things. And people don't like certain things that other people change. Guns are no different than cars in that regard. You go to a car show, there's always somebody sitting behind their car with their feet propped up, acting like they're better than you are because they spent more money on your car. Well, just know that same kind of stuff is going to happen in the gun community, big time. People always say in the comment sections, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that crap, oh, the poors are at it again because people don't have the money to spend on, you know, extremely expensive firearms like they do. I don't know if that's necessarily right or wrong, but you should probably stick within your budget and shoot what you can afford to shoot. And sometimes that's what it takes. But ultimately, just know, people, no matter what you do, you can't please the masses. Somebody, somewhere, will pick apart your build and say that theirs is better than yours, even though it may or may not be. So, number 9 is the reason why cars and guns both are open to scrutiny for your build. Reason number 10, collectibles and ROI. Anybody out there that's an investor is going to know what I'm talking about, return on investment. So guns and cars, I kind of touched on it earlier on. There is a collectible side of things, especially nowadays. With the internet, guns are being broadcasted out there all the time, right? Same thing with cars. Oh, well, this car is more rare than that car because of the production unit numbers. Or how about this gun is more rare than that gun because they don't make it anymore. They discontinued it and it had a low production amount. People are probably going to source those things out and try and buy them. Machine gun owners, for all you guys out there, thank you for keeping our Second Amendment rights alive, but price gouging, it had to happen. You know, 86 when they passed the bill, you kind of have to inflate the value of a good when the demand goes up drastically. So overnight, machine guns, you know, quadrupled, quintupled in value immediately. So same thing with cars. There's certain cars that once they go or if there are a specifically low amount of cars, even with cars with weird color codes, people will go after to collect just because of those one things, but it usually always drives the price up. So on that note, if you have those collectibles, usually over time, a lot of the time, unless something comes out after it and kind of post-dates it, usually it's gonna increase in value. So like I can tell you right now, like my Scar, it's always hard to find Scar 17s, always. It doesn't matter. Like you can get on Gun Broker and find them, but they don't actually exist in gun shops because as soon as they come in, somebody buys them. Well, that's like the Civic Type R when it first came out, the new generation. They couldn't stay on dealers' lots, and dealers were selling them at a $15,000 or more price increase because they were so desirable. So again, that kind of goes back to return on investment. You keep those things nice, you hang on to them over time, they're probably going to inflate in value. So reason number 10, cars are like guns, is because they will both be collectibles and they both can give you a good ROI. All right, guys. I thought we were doing a 10. Oh, well, 11. Reason number 11. Just a bonus. I'm gonna throw this out there. Communities, gun communities, car communities, huge, absolutely ginormous. Especially around where I live, PA is, for the most part, at least, a pro-gun state. So I know our representatives don't always reflect that in our best interest, but lots of people in PA own firearms. Tons of background checks going on all the time, and there's a lot of density of firearms. Well, it's no different really for nice cars. There's quite a few people around here who have nice cars, muscle cars, imports, right-hand drive stuff, you name it. Everybody has it around here, and the communities are very tight-knit. So gun communities, car communities are very tight-knit, and sometimes they actually intertwine. Some of those people are interested in doing the same things. Like the guys that I brought out with me today, we may not be interested in exactly the same things, but we're both interested in guns and both interested in cars. And in fact, we work on them for a living, sadly enough. So sometimes that kills the hobby a little bit, but for the most part, cars and guns are huge hobbies and they have great communities. So you can always find people in those communities who are supportive, and you can also find people in those communities who are just kind of reckless and self-destructive. You just got to know who you're looking for and what people to talk to seek out the right kind of information. So reason number 11 is because cars and guns both share a community. All right, there it is, guys. There's, going back to this again, I can't count past what I have on my hands. 11 reasons why guns are similar to cars and cars are similar to guns, consequently. Thank you guys so much for watching 299 Tactical. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you guys watching. Tune in for the next one. I'll see you then. 299 Tactical out.